was a famine that year. Crops withered and livestock succumbed to a terrible plague. A young man named Cullen, his mother and father, lived on rented land as farmers. They had struggled to cultivate the land that never yielded a generous harvest. One night, Cullen overheard his parents discussing the plight.
"My darling, what are we to do? The landlord's heart is full of greed, and he will not be lenient on us."
Let us get some rest, my love. In the morning we will go to speak with him. Even if he rejects our plea, we'll figure something out. We have each other. You, me, and Cullen.
Cullen came up with a plan.
I remember Grandfather telling stories about how his great-grandfather once climbed Dragon-Tooth Mountain and met a real dragon on the mountain peak, and that there was treasure there as well. But Father never believed it.
Shortly before the sun crept over the horizon, Cullen set out, on foot to climb the mountain. He left a long note on the wobbly old table, telling his parents that he would return with enough treasure to secure their future. When he finally arrived at the foot of the mountain, he heard a voice echoing in his mind.
"Well now, who is this young man who stands at the foot of my mountain?"
I'm hearing voices. Has the heat taken my sanity?
After half a day's climb, Cullen, at last, reached the top of the mountain, and what he saw left him speechless and shaking at the knees. There, towering before him, was a dragon covered in golden scales that gleamed in the sunlight.
I remember seeing a young man who looked just like you. Nearly 200 years ago. You smell like him too. You're a farmer, yes?
Yes. One who is in great need. I was told there was a treasure upon this peak, and hoped that you could spare even just a little.
The dragon gave Cullen an empty burlap bag.
An empty bag?
It's more than just an empty bag. It's enchanted. When you get home, lay it on your table and speak the words. "Bag of riches, but not of greed. Bestow upon me that which I need. You will receive what you deserve."
Cullen thanked the dragon and returned home.
"My love, he's returned. Son, your mother and I were worried sick."
I went to see the dragon. He gave me this. It's an enchanted bag.
You saw a dragon who gave you an enchanted bag? Dear, I think the heat got to you.
Cullen laid the bag on the table and spoke the words.
"Bag of riches, but not of greed. Bestow upon me that which I need."
There was a moment of silence. Cullen looked inside the bag.
Gold coins!
Cullen pulled out handfuls of gold coins, and then valuable plates, cups, and silverware. The bag produced a feast for them. Honey-glazed ham, mashed potatoes, warm bread, fresh vegetables, and more. They all ate like royalty that evening. His mother and father went to sleep with full bellies, but Cullen sat at the table looking at a coin, lost in his thoughts. But then, something else emerged from the bag. It was a fairy. He had crimson hair in a ponytail, wings that resembled sapphire-colored glass, and green tights.
Good evening. My name is Aiden. I'm pleased to see that you have had your needs met in abundance. I am in need as well, and believe you're just the right person for the task. You've proven yourself to be very brave and determined by climbing the mountain in search of the dragon. The shaman of my village wishes to speak with you.
Aiden snapped his fingers, and Cullen found himself in an enchanted forest, with small fairy houses in the trees, and a quiet stream flowing through the center of their beautiful village. Little lights, that resembled fireflies floated around him, shining in shades of blue and green, twinkling like stars. Aiden brought Cullen before the shaman. He was silent for a long moment, glaring at Cullen as if he was examining his soul.
I'm sorry. Are you mad at me? Or do you just need a seeing eyeglass?
There is courage in his heart. He's the one. Young human, we have discovered there is a princess who is a friend to our kind, who is in a desperate situation. She is 18 summers old. Since she was 15, it has been arranged for her to marry a young man who gives your race a bad name. The marriage ceremony is set to take place tonight.
Our laws forbid us from whisking her away ourselves, but a human can do it. You can be a hero, Cullen.
Cullen found the situation very unsettling. He didn't even know the girl, yet couldn't help but feel sorry for her.
I'll do it.
So, Aiden told Cullen what the plan was, and they set out to save the poor, unfortunate girl. Aiden was able to conceal himself and Cullen with magic, so they easily snuck into the ballroom where people were eating, drinking, and making merry. All appeared joyful, except the princess.
That's her, the one who's crying.
The young man she was to marry was insisting that she dance with him, but she just continued to cry. He then grabbed her arm.
That piece of trash! Aiden, do it now!
Aiden snapped his fingers and time stopped. Cullen stood next to the princess and glared at the frozen young man she was to marry. Cullen snatched a glass of wine from a butler's tray and threw it all over the young man's white clothes. He swiftly carried the princess outside, and they escaped, flying away, mounted on a white horse with wings. They came to a ring of great stones that surrounded a pillar of black crystal. Aiden touched it, and it started to glow with a cool blue light that formed a pattern that resembled a constellation of stars. A portal appeared that took them back to the fairy realm. They brought the princess before the shaman, who returned her to her normal state of consciousness. She was shocked and wondered where she was. She tried to speak, but she couldn't.
There's a spell on her. It's preventing her from speaking. I sense that bracelet on her wrist has cursed her.
The shaman told her to take the bracelet off. She did, but she still could not speak. What they did not know was that the man she was to marry had placed a curse on it, so that if she left him, she would pay a heavy price. Something dear to her would be taken away. Everyone in the palace knew that she had an angelic voice. When she sang, everyone would stop what they were doing and listen to her. Even the animals would come near to hear it. And so, that was the price she would pay. Now that she was gone, her voice was taken from her.
I will prepare a potion for her that may possibly restore her voice, but it will take time.
Cullen told the princess about how they snuck into the castle and rescued her. She looked amused when he told her about how he threw wine all over the clothes of the loathsome man she was to marry. By the next morning, the potion was finally ready. She drank the brew, but she remained mute.
Cullen and Aiden, you must go deeper into the forest and search for more herbs. We may be able to cure her in another way.
When Cullen returned, he brought an assortment of beautiful flowers he had found for the princess. Her blush made her feelings clear. Cullen prepared a stew with things he and Aiden gathered.
You took normal ingredients from the forest and made this delicious stew. You should be the one to cook from now on.
The princess also enjoyed the stew, eating 3 bowls of it. 3 days passed, but they still weren't able to find a cure for the princess. However, a bond was forming between Cullen and her. They were growing more and more fond of each other.
I thought of something that may work. We could go before the dragon on the mountain and ask for his help.
They went through a teleport that took them to the peak of Dragon Tooth Mountain.
It's nice to see you again, young farmer. And this time you've brought friends. One of them has piqued my interest.
She is mute. She's been cursed, and we have not been able to lift it.
Those herbs growing at your feet have properties that can cure such things.
The princess picked one of the herbs and took a small bite. She paused for a moment.
It worked! I can speak again.
I walk through the valley, you are with me. Thy rod and thy staff protect you, comfort me. The lion lays down with the lamb, and forever there's peace in the land.
Your voice is the sweetest sound I've ever heard. I have one request. I would be forever grateful if you would visit me once a year to sing me a song.
I shall.
They thanked the dragon again, and then went to Cullen's house. When they arrived, his parents had just woken up. Time passed differently in the realm of the fairies. Only a single night had passed since Cullen had left with Aiden to see the fairy shaman.
Let's go into town, everyone. We're going to tell the other farmers about this bag of riches, and that we'll use it to help everyone.
The greedy landlord overheard this, and while they were still in town, he slithered back to Cullen's home. Through the window, he saw the magic bag laying on the kitchen table. He snuck in, quickly grabbed it, and ran. When everyone returned, they noticed that the magic bag was gone.
Someone took it. I can sense it. Follow me.
They were led to the landlord's house.
What are we supposed to do? He has the deed to our farm. We can't just break his door down and force him to return it to us.
Leave it to me.
Aiden magically flew through the front door.
It won't work unless you know the incantation. I can tell you what it is. Repeat after me. Bag of riches, but not of greed. Bestow upon me that which I need. However, it will only bring forth the riches if you deserve it. But if you don't deserve it...
Yes, whatever.
He said the incantation with a disrespectful tone of voice. There was a long pause.
Batman! You'll get what you deserve.
2 dark fairies, called boggarts, flew out from the bag and started to wreck the landlord's house. Cullen and the others walked in. The landlord panicked and shouted at Cullen's father.
I command you to stop this immediately!
I'll stop the madness if you return the magic bag, and give to each farmer who rents from you the deed to their land which they have already paid for 3 times over.
Fine.
Aiden snapped his fingers, and the boggarts disappeared. It was indeed a misfortunate day for the landlord, but a day of joy for all of the farmers and their families. Each of them received the deed to their land. Cullen and his parents used their wealth to build better homes and farms for everyone. And despite having been mistreated by the landlord, they rebuilt his house as well. Aiden returned to the realm of fairies with wonderful stories to share with the other fairies. The princess stayed with Cullen and his family. She and Cullen eventually got married and had a son who they named Aiden. And on the first day of the first month of each year, she would visit the dragon on the top of the mountain to sing him a song. Their story was told even after a century had passed, and still, every year, on the first day of the first month, an angelic voice could be heard singing from the peak of Dragontooth Mountain.